So if you just came in and you haven't printed this out yet, please print this part out. 10.5. Also, if you have any question on this one, I can also answer some. Practice A 10.4 and B. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Right here. Hi, Cynthia. Is this a different account that you have? Because you have different names. Oh, nice. Hi, Connor. Hi, Olivia. I almost forgot your name, Olivia. It's like, I remember your Chinese name. Because Olivia's name showed up, and then it was not Olivia. Oh, do you really? Hi, Jackie. Oh, thanks. Hello. Hi, Cohen. Hi, Maya. Hillary. Belen. Hi, Naomi. Ni hao. Hey, so if you haven't printed this out yet, go print it out right now, as we were going to be talking about it in just a bit. Also, if you have any questions on this one, this is due this Friday. So make sure that you have any questions you have answered before we move on and turn in your work. Okay. So for attendance, we're gonna call roll in the middle of, like, after our notes. Cindy, I will go over if you have any questions about it immediately, because this is still part of, like, you're turning this in on Friday. So if you have any immediate questions, I'll answer that. Otherwise, you can also ask me during office hours. That's fine too. You can email me the questions. That way I can just, when I stream it, I know what to do. Okay, for assignments, okay? So under your, in your school loop, under your calendar, you should have an assignment, right? An assignment there, let me show you. So on your school loop, under your calendar, assignment here, so you click on it, then it should show what is due this Friday. And then you don't have the submission, you just have, I think yours is either locker or device. Locker is, you already have the assignment in your locker done. So you usually want to take a picture, and the picture will be on your device, where you can upload it onto your device and then upload it to that assignment, if that makes sense. So like you should have a submit. It's not a button, but there's a locker and there's a device. Okay, and with that you should be able to turn in your pictures. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have problems with technicality and stuff. Okay? Make sense? If it makes sense, type it makes sense. Otherwise, I don't know if you know. As you can see, I'm at home mode. Very just woke up phase. Although I just had a class this morning. Doesn't really help. This is my second coffee of the day. Do I look like a influencer? Whatever you guys call it. Alright. I'm gonna flip it back, okay? Alright, guys. The notes, Samuel, the notes is in locker. So, oh, thanks. Samuel, the notes is in the locker under note guide. There should be a couple of things there. Today we're going to be using 10.5 notes and 10.4 practice if you have it. You can also, Olivia, if you don't have a printer, you can just write free notes. Just follow through the note guide and then write your calculation and stuff. That was 100 subscriber face reveal. Sorry I didn't do a Q&A for 10 subscribers. Alright. So, if you have it ready, or if you are ready, let's just quickly go through, not quickly, but like, go through it. Don't type I'm here yet, Sherveen. We're gonna do that all together in a couple of minutes, so that way we can all do it at once, because I can't go through all your chat and mark you individually here, okay? So we're gonna go through the class real quick, and we'll go from there, okay? Have it ready? We're good? Okay. It's all right. So, first off, today we're gonna be exploring 3 types of situations in turn. Oh, by the way, if you guys can't see or I'm going too fast, let me know, okay? We're gonna explore angle relationship in circles, but there are 3 situations, okay? The first one's called tangent, and then there's an inside angle, and there's an outside angle. Today is the 25th. Okay, so there are 3 different cases for our theorems, and they're very similar in terms of the calculation, but we're going to talk about how to use them individually. And this section is a lot going to be about seeing the right parts, because sometimes when there are a lot of lines in a circle, it's hard to right away start identifying parts without experience. So it takes a lot of practice. That's why we're doing problems together, okay? So the first one is this, which is, we call this tangent angle, because one of the line is tangent, okay, right here. You see this line is tangent at a point, okay? And then you have an angle right here, okay? And we're interested in how to find this angle measure. Hi, Chance. Hi, Ryan. Okay, we're interested in finding these. Okay, so to find this, let's examine first this extension line, okay? Let me ask you this. So we are splitting this straight angle into 2 parts, right? One is this, one is this. What is the sum of this angle? Type. What is the sum of these angles? Just this and this together. Wow, Royce, 181, huh? So 180 is correct, right? This is called a straight angle. Right here. 180 degrees, right? Now, you see this line, this chord is dividing, or the secant line is dividing these two angles into two parts. At the same time, it also divided this circle into two parts. Can you see that? So, what is the sum? What is the sum of the whole circle in arc measures? Type. Is everyone lagging? I'm waiting. Yeah, 360, right? So the whole thing here is 360. Now I cut it in somewhere. So this straight line is separated with 180, and this whole thing is cut with 360. So naturally, the arc should be double the angle. So that's why the angle is half the arc. Right here. Okay? So whenever you want to find this tangent angle, it's going to be the half of the arc measure of this cut arc, basically. Okay? Let's do an example. So for example, what is measure angle EFH? EFH, that's right here. That's a tangent angle, right? Because it touches at one point. So if that's a tangent angle, then what would be your arc? That would be here, right? So it's gonna be half of that. All right, so it'll be 130 over 2, which is 65 degrees. Okay. Am I going too fast? Not fast enough? We're okay? Yeah, 65 is correct. So then, the next part is then GF, which is this measure right here. This one right here. This measure, arc measure. Now, to find that measure, I need to find this angle here, right? This angle, because this is a tangent angle of this arc. So, what is this? The 122, this is what? Linear pair, right? So 180 minus 122. So this part would be 58 for the angle here. But this is double that, right? So it'll be 58 times 2, which is going to be 116 degrees. Okay. You can hear the vibrate. All right, real quick with tangent angles, we're gonna be using that in a bit, okay? Second one is called inside angle, right? So, inside angle is the angle that's inside, but it's not necessarily in the center. So you see how like this is off center. Usually when it's center, right? So for example, you have a circle, right? If you have a center, then whatever angle here, let's just say like 60, then that means this is 60, right? These two are the same if it's on the center. But now the difference between these two is this one's not on the center. Because it's not on the center, in general, would you agree with me that this arc is different from this arc? Right? These two arcs are different. Okay? So since these two arcs are different, then when you're looking at this, you cannot just say, okay, well, this angle is the same as that arc. Why? Because what is the relation between these two angles? This one and this one. What's the relation between these two angles? Vertical angles. Thank you, Jeremiah. Right? What is important about vertical angles? Avia, good job. Cindy. So what is the importance? They're congruent, right? Congruent, that means these two are the same, but these two are different. So that means fundamentally these two cannot be just the arc that's on it, right? Like you can't just do the arc that's cutting, because these two are different, but these two are the same. Very nice, guys. All right, so that being said, because of that, we are going to look at how they are related. So the actual relationship is, because you're in the middle and you cut through two arcs, instead of making it equal to each other, I want to take some from each one. So you just average them. So it's 1/2 this plus this. Okay? 1/2 this plus this. All right? So just average them. Makes sense, right? In the middle. So measures in the middle. Okay. So let's look at one. So AEB in this question, AEB, which is here, this angle, right? So AEB is here. That's related to this arc and this arc, right? Because you're cutting like this. So this arc and this arc. So AEB is equal to the average between the two. So 1/2, 139 plus 113. Like that. And that is equal to 126 is correct. Belen had the question. Wait, I thought if it had an arc, it would be the longer side. Can you clarify that real quick, Belen? I'm trying to understand what you mean. So like, you mean like this? Like an inscribed angle? Okay. Let me know if you have more questions, okay? I can always stop to clarify. Okay? Let me know. Okay. So measure angle BEC is here, which is this one. This one is straightforward because you already know this is 126. You just found it. So this one would just be the supplementary angle to that. So it would be what? 180 minus it, right? So it'll be what, 54 degrees? Yeah, 54 degrees. Very nice. Doing okay? All right. Yep. For all of your 54 question marks, you are correct. Okay. So, I'm gonna move this forward a little bit. Okay. So then, the last type has 3 forms. Okay, because when the angle is outside, like this, the angle is outside. I'm looking at these angles. Okay, this one, this one. They're all outside angles. created by two lines related to the circle, right? So because of that, when you look at these, you are basically looking at how the arcs are cut. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna identify how the arcs are related. Okay, the first thing is, so the one I want to mention is this one first. Okay, the one on the right, because that one's the most obvious one. When you use these two secant lines, it cuts this part, this arc, and this arc. Right? Can you tell? The two lines cut, the angles is related to these two arcs. Okay. Similarly, when you have the tangent, two tangent lines, then you have to see where the point of touching is. Right here is here. So the arc would be from E to G, and the major arc from the other side. Like that. These are the two arcs that are related. Okay. Finally, for this one, this is half and half. Okay, so you got a tangent and a secant. So that's like these two. Okay, this is how the arc is cut. Okay. Does this part make sense? Which arcs are related to the angle? This is the important part because you gotta identify which arcs are related to which part, and that way when you are using the theorem, it will make sense. Okay. So then, now, look at this. All of these angles will be exactly half, similar to the first one, the average, right? Half of the larger arc minus the smaller arc. Okay? Half of the larger arc minus the smaller arc. All of them, as long as you're outside. That's how it goes. Okay? Any questions over here? So someone told me yesterday that during someone's Chinese class, they were doing Zoom, and then somebody shared their screen, and then they were playing like League of Legends or something. You guys aren't like that, right? No? Yeah? Alright, flip it over. Oh, it was you, huh? By the way, do you guys get the email? School is extendedly closed until May 1st. Yeah, so you guys can't see me for another month. Maybe you will never see me again. Who knows? Think about it. If we end the school like this, maybe, you know. But anyway, let's look at the problem first. We're gonna okay. So this problem, right? So 1/2, right? The arc, they already give it to you, so you don't really have to think about it that much, right? So it'll just be 200 minus 74. You guys are you guys are super sweet. You know, as much as I like sleeping until 9 o'clock, I do miss going to school and seeing you guys' faces. Oh yeah. Yeah. Going outside is yeah, but Zoom is hard for me to write because camera is not as good, and I kind of want to write with pen instead of on my mouse. So maybe we'll have a Zoom thing when we're not doing like notes. Okay. Jerry can still go outside, Maya said. You just can't see people. Okay, so the next one. So this one's a very typical problem that we see multiple times, which is they give you like an answer, right? But they don't have like one of the arcs. So the setup is the same. Your answer would have been gotten by 1/2 this minus that, right? So you set it up the same way, 1/2 83 minus x, but the result is already known, so that's equal to 25. Okay. That kind of makes sense. And then you just solve for this. So multiply by 2 over, so the difference should be 50. So x needs to be 23. Okay, 33. Yes, you're right. How are we doing here? It's all good. 34. Royce is always one more. Okay. So that's pretty much all the theorems. So now I'm going to give you some time to look at these problems and then try them on your own real quick. I'm not going to end stream yet because last class I also went through all the questions with you. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to let you work on this for a little bit, and then I'm going to go over in the end before we close stream. And also, I am going to talk about some housekeeping issues, and also I'm going to take attendance right now. Okay? So everyone stop chatting random things for now. And if you are here, type here. All right? No more nonsense. Just write here so that I can count. Okay? Royce. All right. Now I cannot take attendance. Thanks, Royce. Thanks. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Missing 3 people. Let's see. $24. 2 people. Yeah. Parth, are you here? Parth? Okay, Parth is absent. So Parth, if you are watching video on demand right now, go leave a comment under the video and tell me one thing that you will only know after you watch a video and summarize the lesson, please. That way I can take your attendance. Please do it before 4 o'clock today so I can actually enter in the attendance. Otherwise, we'll have to fix it in a very complicated way. Okay? Make sure you do that by today. I think everyone else is here. Right. So work on this for a little bit. So for number 2, this one. So here, let me highlight it for you. This 25 is the arc measure, which is this part. Okay. And this 48 indicates this angle measure. If that makes sense. So 25 is for the arc and 48 is for the angle. Is that clear? It says find measure CE, which is this one. Yeah, measure of the arc. You were trying to find this measure right here. This one. I think out of all of these, this one is the most interesting one. It's possibly also the hardest one to see, whereas the other ones are, the number 1 is obviously the easiest, but the other 2 are also not that bad. Number 4 is interesting though. 2 and 4 are interesting, although they don't have numbers. It's the right side problems, okay? Right side problems are interesting. I mean, I would play some music, but I don't have copyrights for any of this, and I'm gonna get muted. Is that even good? Maya says no. I'll lower it. Shabine, I'll explain homework in a bit. Okay? Yeah, Jeremiah, you said it right. Listen to Jeremiah. Okay. Wow. How did I get 1K subscribers? I don't need. Mark you absent. Thanks, Jeremiah. You got it right. Very nice. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about these problems, and then we can close today's lesson, and you can do homework on your own, and I'll talk about some housekeeping items, and that'll be it. Okay. So the first one is FGJ. FGJ is here. FGJ, which is here. You have to first look at which arc is cutting out. So if you look at these two lines right here, then you can see that the two arcs that you need are already cut out for you, or they already give you the measure, which means you just average the two, right? So what? 1/2, 31 plus 52. So that should give you 1/2 of what, 83. So that's going to be 41.5 degrees. Okay, 41.5 degrees. I'm going to talk about homework altogether, including the practice stuff. So Teria, You're in the wrong class. But it's okay, you can stay. Anyway, so you're here, right? So the next part is going to be measure angle HJK. HJK is right here. So that's going to be exactly half of this arc that is being cut. This one. And they already say it's 130. So it'll be like 130 over 2, which is 65 degrees. Okay. All right. So after that, I think a lot of people want me to talk about number 2, previous period. So let's look at this. What are you saying? Anyway, so so you look at this, because you want to find this x value, right? This x value is related to this arc, but this arc needs this angle, CDE, which is this angle right here. So you're gonna have to find this angle first. Here, let me slightly zoom in a little bit and press it in. Okay, so I'm looking for this angle to find this arc, because if I have this angle, then I can find the difference between these two arcs and divide by 2, I'll get this, right? So here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use, how do I find this angle? So I want you to take a look at this triangle right here. This one right here. Right? So you're going to subtract these two from 180. Very nice, Jeremiah. So it'll be 180. So angle measure CDE is equal to CDE, okay? 180 minus 48 minus 83 end up being 49, which is here. Okay, this angle is 49. Okay. And after that, I'm going to use the setup that I have here. So this is 25. So I'm going to use this arc and this arc. Okay. So what is this whole arc? 85, 25 together is going to be 110. So angle CDE, which is 49 degrees, should equal to 1/2 110, which is here. I'll highlight it for you. 110 minus x. All right, x is what you want to find. Okay. And then you will solve for x. Okay. So, sorry. So, multiply it through. So, 98 equals 110 minus x. So, x turns out to be 12 degrees. Does that sound right? So you're using the fact that the triangle is there. You already know 2 angles, then you find the third angle. This one is a little hard to see because it was unclear why you need to find that angle. Angle CDE, which is here, you can't use 1/2 this plus this because this angle is outside of the circle. The one you average is when the angle is inside the circle. Right? This angle CDE is outside the circle. So there are 2 ways to find this angle. One is if you know this angle, this arc measure, x, then you can do 1/2 big minus small. But you don't know the small one. That's what you want to find. So you have to go backwards and find this 49 in other ways. So to do that, you have to look at this triangle to find 49 first. And once you get this 49, you can do the subtraction because this is the outside angle. Okay. Any clarifying questions that I need to clarify? Okay. So the last two problems. Wait. Alright. The last two, this one, you're looking for, so this is the angle they gave you, 26 is actually here. You want to find LP, which is going to be this one right here. Right? Let's just call it X, okay? And you basically need to find this part first, right? Makes sense? Yeah, so you need 100 minus PR, but you don't know PR, right? Because PR is not unknown. So since it looks like 26 would be PR, but it's actually, you know, not. But 26 is this angle. So just find this first. So let's call it Y, okay? Very nice. So it'll be 26 equals to 1/2 80 minus Y. Right, because this is an outside angle is equal to half of big minus small, which ended up 52 equals 80 minus Y. So Y turned out to be 28. Right, 28 degrees. What? Jeremiah, that's too much information. I don't need to know. Okay. So, yeah, so then you subtract Y from 100. So X is 100 minus 28. Which is 72 degrees. Okay. Let me move that up a little bit if I can. Actually, I can't. I'm just going to move this up. Okay. We're okay with this one? All right. Wait, 226? Oh, you mean like this one? You would think, right? Except this is not an inscribed angle, so you can't just do it like that. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So, to find this arc, so this is what you want, right? YZ right here. Right. So to do this one, initial thought is, okay, maybe I can find this and then do these two average with this. That's a possibility. There are more than one way to do these problems, okay? For sure. Okay? But let's try to figure out as many things as we can, okay? First thing I want to figure out is, can I find this arc? Just randomly. Like, I want to figure out like how many arcs I can find, right? So if you want to find this arc, is there a way to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Depends. 104. No. Okay. So let's look at this then. Can you find this angle first? What's this angle? Olivia, it's not 113 times 2 because this 113 is not on the center nor on the circle. If you want times 2, this angle has to be inscribed angle, which means this has to be on the circle. Okay. So this is 67. This is by supplementary, right? Supplementary, 67. Okay. With this 67, okay, can you find this arc? Wait. Oh, you want to use this? Yeah, you can use this too. You can find this angle and then multiply this by 2, you'll get this arc as well. Right? So this is supposed to be the average of the two, right? So let's just call it like y or something, okay? So this is going to be y plus 68 half is equal to 67, right? So then that y would end up being 66. How do I know it's so fast? Well, because 67 is supposed to be the middle of 66 and 68, right? I'm just averaging. Okay. Okay. So once I found that, I want you to look at this arc and this arc. The two I colored. One I don't know, one I do know, but I know this angle, right? How are they related? This angle versus this arc and that arc. Isn't this one of the situations that we had? Outside angle, right? Outside angle is equal to half of large minus small. Okay, so outside angle equal half large minus small, which is 66. So you can find, so times 2 over 98 equals to x minus 66. So x turns out to be 168, 64. Y minus 68. So, is plus because the angle that I'm using, 67, is the inside part of the circle. If you're inside, then you do adding divided by 2. If it's outside, the angle is outside, then it's subtract. You're talking about this part, right? You're talking about this part? Okay. So that's all for the lesson. I want to go through some housekeeping items. Number 1. So, those of you who were here before we closed, no, that was not an ice cream truck. That is just my my clock in my living room that sings every hour, as long as there's daylight or any type of light. Then it will tell me, hey, it's it's 2 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. So Yeah. So let me explain the homework part, okay? So the first part, there are 3 things you need to turn in this week on Friday. Number 1, if you were here on Friday, before we go, you received a practice A from School Loop. And then you will have it there. It's on Note Guide in Locker, okay? So go do this part, and then that's the first thing you need to turn in. Second thing you need to turn in is the notes that we did today. That's the second thing. The third thing we're turning in is homework, which is listed here, okay? How do you turn it in? There is an assignment. Should be due this Friday, right? So go to your calendar. Go to your calendar. In your calendar, there is, all right, everyone listen, all right, so we can figure out how to turn this in. In your calendar, you should see week of March 23rd assignment. Click it. Then under that, you should be able to see the assignment. Now yours have different options here. Yours will say submit, and there's 2 buttons. One will say locker, the other one will say device. If you're taking a picture of your assignment or pictures, then you will click device to upload the photos. Does that make sense? Or any type of file that you want to do it as. So it's usually photo is fine. I think PDF is also fine. So just turn it in from there. So when you turn it in, let me show you an assignment. It looks kind of like this. So somebody already turned it in. So I would be able to see some work. Okay? So that's the idea. Does that make sense? Should work. The last 30 minutes of class, you can just do your homework. I'm going to close this stream in a bit if you don't have any questions. But that's pretty much it for the lesson. And if you have any additional question you want to talk about for homework, you can email me the questions, and then I'll go over on the next office hour, which is usually the next day. Every day from 11 to 12, I have office hours. So if you ask a question, usually I will stream it then. So after I solve a problem, you can always go back and to rewatch the whole, rewatch the office hour streams, or you can just be there in office hour stream just in case you have like live problems that you want me to do. Or if you want to rewatch this lesson, it will also be automatically uploaded. It's already recorded. Okay? So, yeah. So if you have any additional question, hit me up on Remind, hit me up on email. Whatever you want. All right? If nothing else, this is it for today. Goodbye.